to episode 35 of Tales of Yarnia. My name is Hannah and I'm coming to you from Cheltenham in the UK, which is where I live with my other half Jimmy and our yellow Labrador Jonah, who is just sleeping in a patch of sunlight just down here. Saying that, sun's just gone in as soon as I said that. So I'm known as Yarnia Designs on Instagram and Ravelry. Don't know where else I am on the internet. Thank you so much for giving my podcast a watch. Whether you're a returning viewer or a new viewer, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Especially if you come back to a few more episodes and you enjoy it. So, first up, I did want to say another thank you. Just for all your lovely comments and messages about my last episode where my wonderful mum joined me on the podcast. She was quite nervous about doing her first episode with me, but she really enjoyed it and it was really, really fun for us both to sort of interact on camera as well. I really enjoyed having someone else to laugh and joke with instead of just sitting here laughing on my own, which is what I normally do. Like that. So yeah, it was really, really fun and I hope in the future we could do another episode together, but because she doesn't live near me, so it's not that often that we can get together and have enough time to film a podcast. But yeah, I really enjoyed that and I hope you all did too. So I just have a sip of my coffee. Okay, so I did want to talk about something a bit more serious at the start of this episode. If you are on Instagram or use Ravelry at all, I think those are probably the main places you would see. You'll probably be aware of a recent change that Ravelry made to their policy, which is they have banned all talk of, all promotion of Donald Trump on the site, which I fully support. Just want to make that completely clear. But I don't know if everyone will be aware of how that change came about and the reasons that they felt the need to make that very distinct change to the policy and make it completely clear that they don't tolerate any support of white supremacy or anything along those veins or that line. So probably one of the main reasons that Ravelry felt the need to take that step and make it abundantly clear that they will not tolerate any white supremacy or promotion of Donald Trump or support for him is really, I think the primary reason is because one of my lovely test knitters, Lizzie, she reported a pattern which was in support of Donald Trump but had racist undertones. Like the message, there were words on the actual item of the pattern which had racist connotations, and it was sort of like it was a code for white supremacist values, and she reported the pattern as I'm not sure what the exact wording is on Ravelry, but she reported it as offensive, and rightly so. And at that time on Ravelry, it was possible to see who had reported a pattern. It was like possible to see their username, and that has since been changed as well, which is a positive step. But it's quite bad that was possible, that you could see that in the first place. However, she reported the pattern. The designer and her followers then basically doxed Lizzie, found all of her private information, all of her personal details. Like, I think they found out pretty much all of her personal information, and they went after her. They have sent her so much abuse, so much hate and threats, and it's just absolutely disgusting. I mean, there are just no words that can describe how awful that is. They've completely destroyed her life, really. Yeah, they have. They've completely destroyed her online community, her knitting life, and they've really obviously damaged her personal life. This has got to be damaging for one person to deal with, on a mental health level and just a personal level. You can't get away from that. It's just absolutely horrible. So I did want to just take at least a chunk of this episode to talk about that and raise awareness if you weren't aware. And if you were aware, I really hope that you have been supporting Lizzie. Her Instagram accounts were completely, I think we don't know who it was that reported her accounts, but some people managed to get her accounts removed from Instagram, and had reported them as, I don't know, I think they've reported them to Instagram. Managed to get her accounts removed, which was absolutely awful, as she was the victim of the abuse. It's taken, I think, about 12 days in total, about 5 days from the point of her accounts being removed for us all to get them reinstated, and this was done by people reporting this problem to Instagram. But there's no going back. You can't undo the damage that's been done. And it's really awful that it's had to come to this point for a lot of people to realise how big this problem is, not just in our community, as in the fibre community, but worldwide. In every area of life, this is a problem, and we need to address it. So since her account's been reinstated, try not to send any messages to her, and try to refrain from sending any follow requests as well, because any sort of even positive messages and that sort of thing can re-trigger all of the trauma that she's been going through. So if you want to learn more about what I've been saying, or any further details, please go and check out the Instagram accounts of Little Skein Anne, and I think most of the information is on hers, and there is also Transmutation Knits. I'll include links to both of their accounts in the down bar, along with everything else that I talk about in this episode. So yeah, definitely go and check those out. If you want to support Lizzie in any way, there are a couple of ways to do that. The main way is to send her Ko-fi. I think that's the way you say it. But it's basically one Ko-fi is, I think, $3. So you can send Ko-fi via, there's a link in both Little Skein Anne's Instagram and also Transmutation Knits. It's Transmutation Knits Instagram, no, Ko-fi account. So make sure if you do give Ko-fi on there, make sure if you want it to be for Lizzie, make sure you say for Lizzie in the message when you do that. But yeah, obviously it was a huge victory getting her account back and reinstated on Instagram. However, this is far from over, and it's the only way we can continue to affect change and support BIPOC and LGBTQ people is by continuing to discuss the issues. You can't shy away or stay silent. It's just not an option, because if you stay silent, you're basically complicit in the actions being taken by people who support white supremacist values and people who seek to tear down marginalised groups. So I really hope that what I've said makes sense. I know this is probably going on about, I might be repeating myself a bit, but I just want to make sure I cover all of the points that I wanted to. No doubt there will be some parts that I've forgotten, but also go and check out my Instagram stories. I've saved every post I've made in relation to this under stand up. I think that's it's like a little circle and it says stand up underneath it. So yeah, please go and check that out if you want to know more. I do also want to make it clear that I do not want to have anything to do with anyone who doesn't support the same values as me. So who doesn't want to support marginalised groups, because you have no place in my space, on my Instagram feed, in my YouTube comments. I will be moderating the YouTube comments, and I'll keep comments active as long as I can stay on top of it. So yeah, if you don't agree and don't share the same values, I don't want you in my space. I don't want you to follow me. Yeah, just want to make that clear. Yeah, so that was like really, really serious, but it's something that I need to discuss. I don't feel like I can just carry on just talking about knitting and not address the issues which are affecting so many people within our community, because they have to deal with this every single day in all areas of their lives. And it's not okay. We can't just carry on and pretend it's not happening, bury our heads in the sand. That's not something I'm prepared to do. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to watch. You don't have to follow me. You can just go back to your knitting if that's what you're going to do. But that's not what I'm going to do. So, yeah. I hope all that made sense. And, yeah. I can't remember what else I wanted to say. I'm sure there were some other points and I just can't remember. It all goes out my head. But yeah, please do speak out and raise awareness about this. I am trying to educate myself still. I'm not an expert at all in this subject, and I'm trying to work through issues, but I have noticed more and more I find myself checking when I get a new follower or I interact with someone on social media. I am noticing that I am looking to see, are they safe? Like, are they someone who is going to have the right values and support. Excuse me. I'm going to support BIPOC and LGBTQ, or are they going to be problematic? I don't want to associate with anyone who is not on the same, has the same sort of mindset as me. So I'm going to try and be more mindful about who I follow, who I interact with, and who I choose to spend my money, like which businesses I choose to support as well, because I think that speaks louder than words. I think action definitely speaks louder than words, and I can't just sit by and carry on supporting people who aren't going to support the people that matter to me. So I really hope this comes across in the right way, and it's not too disjointed. So, yeah. I sort of had one final point I wanted to make on this, and I wanted to ask, if you have been staying silent, why? You need to ask yourself, why is that? If you do agree with these values and you've stayed silent, why is that? Is that because you're putting your own sort of like selfish reasons above? You sort of feel like that matters more than the abuse and hate that's directed towards marginalised groups. I don't want to put people down at all. That's not what I'm trying to say. People who have stayed silent, I think, need to evaluate, sort of like look within themselves and evaluate why they've stayed silent, why they didn't feel that they wanted to vocalise their support. There are so many people who have opened up and said and sort of shown their support for Ravelry and Lizzie and just this issue in general, that it does stick out if you haven't. I don't want this to sound like I'm attacking anyone at all, but I just sort of want to probe a bit and just sort of reiterate that how important it is to speak out and challenge anyone that is promoting sort of white supremacist values. So, yeah. Sorry, this has probably gone on quite a long time, and I've probably repeated myself quite a bit, but I just really wanted to try and get this point across in the best way possible. I mean, I'm normally quite a rambly person anyway in this podcast, so I find it difficult to verbalise things. I think I'm better at writing things down than explaining a point really well verbally. So, sorry if it's come across all a little bit disjointed. It's sort of like as soon as I have like an idea of what I want to say in my head, I click the record button and it just, half of the stuff just flies out my head and the other bits go in all the wrong order and I don't know. Anyway, if you've stuck with me through that ramble, thank you so much for doing so. I wanted to put it at the start of the episode just to make it clear where I stand on that issue, and I don't want to shy away from being vocal about this anymore. So, right. Okay, so you may have noticed there is a Soldotna in the room. So, moving on to FOs, I have got a project which I'm currently wearing, which the last time I recorded, I hadn't even started, but it has been about a month since I last recorded, so yeah, sorry about the sort of long gap between episodes. Life has just got in the way. We had some work done on the house, so that was my last set of rest days, so I couldn't record then because we had people ripping up the floor and doing tons of drilling. The house was in chaos. So this is sort of the first real chance I've had to record a podcast, so sorry about the mini hiatus, but I'm back now. And hopefully it won't be as long until the next one because I've got a little bit of time off work, so hey, time off. Anyway, we were talking about the Soldotna. This, I'll just stand up and show you. There we are, Jim. This is my Soldotna, and it's a DK weight knitted top, short sleeve t-shirty top thing, which is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter, aka Boyland Knitworks, and I absolutely love it. It's a cropped sweater. I've made mine quite a bit longer. I think I did 3 extra repeats of this section, and then I did a couple of extra rows of the just dark blue before I did ribbing as well, because I was running out of this colour. I have knit the size S, which I think is the second size, and I used 4 different colours, which is what the pattern calls for. A couple of them were leftovers, which I'm really pleased about using because I like to try and use up scraps and leftover stuff from other projects. I'm quite... Is the word economical? I don't know. I like to not waste stuff anyway. That's what I'm trying to say. So it'll tell you what the different yarns are. The dark blue is leftover from the Weasley sweater that I made for my sister at the end of last year. Sorry, I'll stand back so you can see my face. I'll sit down. So yeah, the dark blue is Willow and Lark in the Ramble base. I'm not sure if the colourway has a name. I think it's probably just a number, but it's like a dark navy blue. And it's quite a soft yarn. Excuse me. Quite a soft yarn. The sort of turquoisey teal colour is River Knits. This is the first skein of River Knits that I've ever had. And I bought this. This one wasn't a leftover or a scrap. This one was, I think I bought it at Unravel. Yes, I did. And it's on their BFL DK, and it's the Salisbury's colourway, which I really, really love. So I might have to get some more River Knits because I'm going to see them again at Yarnia, which is only a week and a bit away. So that's really exciting. So yeah, that was the other main colour. And then the 2 sort of contrast colours, which you just sort of see in the colourwork here. The one which I've used the darker colour for the arrowy sort of section of the colourwork is Primrose Yarn Co. and it's leftover. Is it their Jasper DK? I can't remember which DK base it is. But it's the one that's just merino and nylon. It's not got cashmere in. And it's on their Bramble colourway. So that was that one. So I had a bit left over from my portage cardigan from that. And then the lighter colour up here is some of my own hand spun, which was Pixie Yarns in the Three Friends colourway. And I'm so excited that I've managed to use some hand spun in this. Yeah, you can probably see it better here. But yeah, I'm really, really pleased with it. I really love the colour combination that I went with. Excuse me, just have a sip of my coffee. My throat. So yeah, really, really pleased with how this has turned out. As I said, I did 3 extra repeats of the little dot section. So I think otherwise it would have been about that much shorter. I'm not sure, maybe. So I wanted it just long enough that I could wear it with jeans still, or shorts. But I could also wear it over a dress. But at the moment I don't really have any dresses that it would go with. I don't think. Probably need like a sort of plain coloured dress that it could go over. So yeah, it's still a little bit cropped, but not quite as cropped as it was meant to be. So yeah, I think that was all I needed to say about that one. But yeah, I'm really getting into the colour work. Really quite enjoying it, so yay! It was kind of hard to not cast one of these on because it's only like a short sleeved sweater. It's quite a quick project to knit compared to a full-on normal length full sleeved sweater. So yeah, I was really excited about that. So there is also one other FO that I have, which I think I was fairly close to finishing the last time we spoke. And it's been done for ages now. Right, hang on, it's just got a little bit of dog hair. But it is my t-shirt design. Sorry, it's creased in the middle here because it's been folded up. Yeah, here it is. Hopefully it's not going to get blown out. I think it did get a bit blown out last time. But yes. So it's been blocked. I have not woven in all the ends because I have a problem weaving in ends and I hate it. So yeah, it's got this, here we go. It's got, the colour is not quite as it is appearing on the screen. It's actually quite a bit darker than that, but at least you can sort of see the detail of the pattern. So it's got this lace section at the bottom. It's got quite a bit of ease. It's a fairly relaxed drop shoulder t-shirt. And then on the sleeves actually flare out a little bit, so they're like quite nice and floaty. They're not too loose, just not fitted all the way down. It's fairly fitted at this point, up to about here, and then slightly loose on the edging. That's sort of the idea of the fit of it. So yeah, I will probably wear this the next time I podcast. I've not been wearing it yet, obviously. I haven't woven in the ends. Oh, that colour is more accurate, actually. No, don't do that. That colour is pretty true, I think. So yeah, this is currently in testing, and I am aiming, if all goes well, I'm aiming for it to be ready to be released maybe the start of August. Start to middle of August I'm aiming for, hopefully, if there's no major issues for this. Because it's my first garment design, so it's feels like quite a big thing to undertake. I'm grading the pattern myself. Yeah, I hope you like it. I'm going to be doing 10 different sizes for this. I think, what was the largest bust size? The largest bust size might be about, is it 64 inches? I can't remember. But I would have no problem at all grading it for bigger sizes. If anyone, if I hadn't included enough sizes and anyone wanted a bigger size, I would be prepared to grade a larger size or a smaller size. But I am doing 10 different sizes, so I'm hoping that will be inclusive. But if you have any suggestions, let me know. And I would always be happy to try and accommodate the other sizes. So that is that. Oh, I forgot to tell you what yarn is. The yarn is Travel Knitter on, I think it was merino fingering. Can't remember. It's definitely Travel Knitter. It was a discontinued base, but she does still have a BFL fingering weight. So the colourway is Brambleberry, I believe. It's absolutely gorgeous. Love it. So that is that. I have not thought of a name for that design yet, but if you have any suggestions, I would be very happy to hear them. So stick them in the comments down below. I would, if I ended up picking a name which you thought of, I'll gift you a copy of the design when it is released. I think that's only fair. So yeah, leave comment any suggestions for the pattern name down below, and if I end up picking your name, I will gift you a free copy of the pattern once it's available on Ravelry. So we just move back in. I think those are my 2 FOs. So they're both quite big FOs. So on to whips. Right, first whip I was going to show you is my current sock design, which I've been working on. You have seen before. I don't know actually. Was it on the last episode? They were on the last episode. I can't remember how much I've done of them. But I'm currently working on the second sock. These are the Megan socks. You can see detail there. What's the best angle? No, not that one. This one. So yeah, you can sort of see there's a twisted rib lace at the top of the sock. Just here. And then you also have this sort of honeycomb. Let's see if I can show you better. It goes across the top of the sock there. So I really like how this yarn's worked out actually. This is the 3rd pattern in my Mad Men sock collection, and for each design I have used a different colourway from the Beehive Yarns Mad Men Yarn Club, which was, I think it ran from February to March, beginning of this year, and this was the first colourway, but I just happened to use it 3rd for the Megan socks. So I think the colourway was called Where Are You Dom, and it had a picture of Megan in a dress which had all of these colours, and it was just beautiful. So this is currently in testing. Some of my test knitters have finished, so it'll probably be down to waiting on me to get the pattern finalised and ready to be released. So I'm currently working on the second one. I do actually need to finish the socks before I can release it as well, I think. Might be an idea. So I am just at the gusset increases, just here for the, just about to start the heel turn. So yeah, that's where I'm up to. You might be able to see the honeycombs a little bit better here. So yeah. Let's see, what else was I meant to say? Oh yeah, the pattern is going to be, it's going to include instructions for both toe-up construction and cuff-down instruction. Instructions for both toe-up construction and cuff-down construction. So I think that leaves it quite accessible to people that prefer each method of sock construction. So yeah, I do try and do that whenever it's possible with the pattern. I usually prefer to knit toe up. Occasionally I do cuff down, but usually if I'm doing a heel flap and gusset, which is the fit that I like the most for socks, I use a toe up construction. Just because with knitting a heel flap and gusset cuff down, you end up having to pick up a lot of stitches, and I hate doing that, so I just find it so much easier to do toe up. Less faffing around. So, oh yeah, and here's the yarn. Just love these colours. It's so bold and vibrant. Really rich, that's the word. They are so rich. Oh, and it's living in my gorgeous bag, which was a lovely present from Conchetta of Butternut Handmade. I absolutely love it. Show you non-scrunched up. You see the little birds. Beautiful. I absolutely love it. So again, there's a little label. So yeah. Right. So that's the first whip. I don't have a release date for the socks yet. We're going on holiday on Saturday for about a week, so I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to sort it all out before then. I probably won't actually, because I'm not going to be able to finish the sock before then and take the pictures and edit the pictures and make all the amendments to the pattern. No, it's not going to happen. It's going to probably be after yarning them, because I'm just not going to have a chance to do it before then. Got a busy couple of weeks coming up. I'm not working, but it's jam-packed. We're going to Wales for a week, which, if you're not based in the UK, it is sort of just to the west of England. It's the little bit that sticks out like this. So you've got you've got Scotland, England, Wales. I'm doing this backwards, so I hope this is the right way around. And then you've got Ireland over here. So it's the little section that sticks out here, which is Wales. Yeah, so we are going there for a week. It is my grandparents' diamond wedding anniversary. So all of the family are meeting up in Wales. None of us live there. We're all coming from different areas and all staying there for, well, we're staying just short of a week so that I can get back in time to go to Yarningham. So yeah, that'll be really fun and relaxing, but I don't know what the internet speed is like there. I think we have Wi-Fi, but it's probably not very good because we're going to be in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know. I doubt we're going to have fibre broadband like we have here. So I might be slow to reply to things after Saturday. So yeah, we're going there for almost a week. Travelling back the next day, I'm going to Yarningham, which is going to be super exciting and fun. I can't wait to go. Then the day after that, we're going round for Sunday lunch at a friend's house. The day after that, Jimmy's dad and his partner are coming to stay. They're coming over from New Zealand and they're coming to stay for about 4 days. And then I've probably got like 1 or 2 days and then I'm back in work. So, I need to get this pattern done. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly when it's going to happen, but if you follow me on Instagram and you want to look out for when it's going to be released, that will be the place to find out. I'll announce it on there. Anyway, I've still got a few more whips to show you. And one of them you have not seen before, which is exciting. So I'll show you that one next because I'm really, really excited about this. Right. Living in this gorgeous, pretty bag, which was made for me by my lovely friend Jan and gifted to me when I met her at Unravel. Jan is, I think she's the faithful sheep. I'm sure there's a number. She's the faithful sheep. Yeah, can't remember what number is after. On Instagram. Yeah, she made this for me. And I stuck this little pin badge, which I think, did I get that from Lydia? Anyway, I thought this just looked really summery with the little cocktail. It's really pretty. And living in here is a new shawl design. So, I don't want to show it you yet. I'll show you the yarns first. Okay, so I think I did show you before on a previous episode. Lovely Lana from the Yarn Lab UK sent me one of her shawl sets, or it's like a 3-skein yarn collection that's in her shop, and I believe it is the, what was it? I've got all of the labels somewhere. Oh, they're upstairs. I can't remember what the name of the actual collection was called. Might have been something at the observatory. I'm not prepared enough. But anyway, the 3 colours are, I'll just show you them together. These are the 3 colours. I absolutely love them. I think this one is called, it's like a Harry Potter inspired set of yarns. I think this one is called Aura. So either one of the colourways or the set is called Midnight at the Observatory. Oh, focus. I will include a link to the shop and the name of the set. But yeah, these are the colourways I'm using to do a shawl, and I'm really excited about it. Excuse me, really excited about it, and I'm really enjoying knitting up the sample as well. So it's got quite big on the needles. Oh, I'm in the middle of a row. I've done the thing that we're not meant to do when we podcast. It's happened. I'm in the middle of a row. I'm gonna have to fix this. I'm closer to the start than the end. Why did I only just start a row of lace? Sometimes I don't know why I do what I do. I must have got distracted by something. I don't know how this happened. I can cut this bit out. I'll edit this bit out. Because no one wants to see me tinking back part of a row. I'll try and show it the best I can. So it's going to be a little bit bunched up. I'll try and just stretch out at least the bottom part. Okay, so I am knitting is it called a half pie shawl? So like an exact semicircle, as close to a semicircle as it can get, hopefully. This is the first time I've knitted a half pie shawl or a semicircular shawl. I've only really done crescents if I'm doing like a round-edged shawl. And there's a lot going on in this design. I wanted to do something which had a few different techniques and you didn't stay doing the same thing for too long. So there's a bit of mosaic knitting going on, just a little bit to break up the garter stitch, and then there's a little bit of brioche as well, which I really like. I've not knitted any brioche for a little while, so I thought, well, why not include some in this? And there are no increases at all within the brioche section, so it's literally, this is going to be a perfect project for if you have done lace knitting, you've done slip stitches, you're pretty competent with knitting a shawl with a bit of detail, but you've never tried brioche before and you just want to dip your toe into brioche, because it's literally very straightforward brioche in this. So yeah, and then there's also a little bit of a lace section as well, because I do like a good lace section. So there we go. And those are the three main sections that are going to be repeated throughout the design, but just changing the colours. So you can see I've done the next mosaic section here, and I've done the next brioche section, and I've just started the lace. So hopefully this is all going to work out as it is in my head. I hope it does. Yeah, I'm really enjoying knitting it. The colours are so fun, and I think they go really nicely together. Hopefully it should be a really lovely shawl when it's finished. And it should be quite big as well. So if you're into big shawls, this might be the one for you. Okay, I'm going to try and use as much of the yarns as possible as well, because I don't like having too much left over. I wouldn't want people to have to buy a full skein to then only use like less than half of it. So yeah, there you go. You can sort of see the next brioche section. There are so many different sections to look at within this shawl. It's probably going to be quite difficult to show you all of them. Yeah. But I do love the brioche. It's just so squishy. There you go. You can sort of see the squish factor. And then the lace. Yeah, I think I've got a couple of progress keepers stitch markers on here. This one is a little llama from Pocket Studio. Is that right? Don't look at me, look at the llama. Yeah, I think it's from Pocket Studio. And then I've got my little mermaids from Yarnia on here too, which are really cool because they're kind of iridescent. Yeah. So yeah, it's the current shawl design that I'm working on. I'm really enjoying it. Oh, that one hasn't got a name yet either. But that one's going to take me a lot longer until it's ready to be released. So we've got time to think of that. Okay, gonna have a bit more coffee. And I've got one more whip. Not sure if it's worth showing you this one, how much I've done on it, but I have been working on it a little bit. So this is living in my, is it homespun house bag? with llamas. And in here is my Spectre. I'm using the fade kit, the Rust, just Rust fade kit from Mr. B's yarn. And I've used the first 3 colours. The only colour I haven't used yet is this one, which is Stonewash. And I'm really loving how this is working out. So I'm knitting it inside out. So if I show you, I think this progress, where that progress keeper is where I was the last time I showed this to you. So I've only done about 3 inches. I've only done about 3 inches, but it's still 3 inches more than last time, so I'm going to show it. And I really love how it's working up. So I'm just going to turn it the right way, because you knit it inside out once you get onto the sort of ribbing and fading. It's then knit inside out. So it looks really small, I think, because of the rib, but like hopefully once it's like washed and blocked, it should look a little bit less small. It should look a bit bigger. Less small. What's the word for less small? If only there was one. Oh my gosh. Right. So I really, really, really love this section. It was really slow to knit, but I think it's very effective. And it's really exciting once you get past that bit, because then you're just onto the mostly knitting around. It's sort of with just like the odd, well, every so often a purl stitch, but mostly knits and then a purl. Yeah, and I just love the speckles and the colourways. So you can sort of see it fades through the colours, and then I'm going to have Stonewash fading in at the end. No, that will not balance there. No. I need more hands. Maybe if I do this. Yes. So yeah, that's going to fade into Stonewash, and then it'll be fading on the arms as well. Yeah, so I'm really, really enjoying that. It's my relaxing knit at the moment. If I just don't want to think about something, I just don't want to have to think about what I'm working on, and I just want to knit quite mindlessly. This is the project I'm going to at the moment. So yeah, because I've done that fade section, so I'm just on this colour, just going around with the one colour for however many inches until I'm then ready to do the next fade. So yeah. Right. I don't think there's too much more to say about that one, but I really like how it's working up, and I just hope it fits. Okay, just pop that in there. Okay, so now I've got a couple of acquisitions to show you. One, I'll start with the most recently acquired, I think. So I have been speaking with Felicity of the Ironbridge Yarn Studio. She is Ironbridge Yarns on Instagram, and I think it's an Etsy shop that she has where she sells all of the yarn that she dyes, and she has some really, really beautiful colourways. And we were talking about doing a collaboration where she could provide some yarn support for a design. So we sort of had a talk and decided that this colourway would be really, really awesome for a sock design. And it's on a sparkle base. I absolutely love it. The blues and the, oh yeah, on this side, the greens. proper look at the colours. It's just gorgeous. I really love this bit here. So this is the St. Ives colourway. And it does just remind me completely of the seaside. So pretty. So once the Megan socks are finished, I will be thinking of a new, another sock design to go with this. Beautiful, beautiful colourway. Oh, I love these blues. Just gorgeous. So this base is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5%, I think it's silver selena. Yeah, it's silver. So you get 400 metres per 100 grams. I'm not sure what that is in yards. Maybe 436? I don't know. If I'm right, I'll be so happy. Oh yes, and her label. Really, really pretty. I love that. So yeah, thank you so much for this tea. I can't wait to get designing with this. This might spur me on to finish the Megan socks actually. I need to get those done. I'm hoping I'll have some car knitting time on Saturday. I think it takes us about 3 hours to get to where we're staying in Wales, so hopefully I'll get a lot of the Megan socks knit in that time. So can't wait to cast that on, but I have to pace myself. Otherwise, I'll just end up with loads of designs on the needles and they'll never get released. Which would be quite fun, but the whole point is to write them up and release them so that you guys can join in knitting them too. Okay, so that's the first acquisition. I've got 2 skeins of nomadic yarns, which I ordered probably back in March. Me and my friend Kate sort of went in together to do an order from Nomadic Yarns, just so that then we share customs fees and it's not as, you don't get hit quite as hard when the customs slip comes through and it's like, oh, you've got to pay this much so that you can get your parcel. So yeah, we went in together to get these just to share the cost of the customs a little bit. And I think we both went for this one. So yeah, they're both self-striping colourways. This one is the Burrow and it's on the Tweedy base. Just look at these colours. They're so beautiful. I think it's showing up a little bit brighter on camera, possibly, than it is in person. Yeah, they're quite deep muted. There, that's a bit more accurate. Yes, that is true to colour. Yeah, look at it. It's so autumnal. It's like all of my autumnal dreams come true. Look at that. So, yes, it is. Colourway is the Burrow, and it's on the Tweedy sock base, which is 438 yards per 100 grams, 85% superwash BFL, and 15% Donegal nep. So this is going to make an amazing pair of self-striping socks. And the other colourway I went for is the Knit Folk colourway, which I think was inspired by Jacqueline of the Brooklyn Knitfolk podcast, which is she has a really, really good podcast, which if you haven't watched it, you should definitely go and check it out. She has a real thing for cables, and sort of chartreusey greens. I really enjoy watching her podcast. Like, I think every episode she starts off filming a little bit around New York, which is obviously, she lives in Brooklyn, and she always has at the beginning, she films some musicians who are just performing, normally on the subway, I think, and that's like the soundtrack for her intro. It's a different independent musician each time, which I think is a really, really lovely touch. But yeah, this colourway, I absolutely love it. I am really drawn to these chartreusey greens. They're kind of a similar colourway to what I used for my soiree sweater. So yeah, so this one's called Knitfolk, and I got this on the Twisty Sock base, which is 400 yards per 100 grams, and it's 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. So yeah, really excited about this. Yeah, there's one more acquisition which I meant to show last time and I completely forgot. And this was a gift from my mum, and I think she got these from Katie Green of the Green Bean podcast? I'll put a link down below. So I'll put a link down below, and I think Katie Green designed these tea towels, which are sort of celebrate British sheep breeds. So here's the label. I'll take it out so that you can see. But I've kept it nice until I could show it on the podcast. And then I'll be able to have it up in the kitchen. So yeah, it says 100% cotton, designed, sewn and printed in the UK. So I will just take it out. Let's see. Right. There we go. So, yeah, British sheep breeds. Try and show you all of it. Sorry, it's a bit difficult to see with it being creased. But yeah, she sort of split them into sections, different types of wool. But yeah, I just really, really like this. It's such a lovely surprise to get from Mum. So yeah. I should have ironed it before showing you. Didn't think of that. Obviously, probably wouldn't want to iron over this. I think it's printed on, so yeah. But yeah, really love it. And it's really interesting to read all the different breeds. There's so many I haven't heard of. But there are some which I have heard of, which is exciting, and I have used. So it'd be quite cool to sort of like tick off different ones as I use them. That might take quite a long time, because some of them I've never heard of and I don't know where I'd get them. But they must be here somewhere, because they are British sheep breeds. So yeah, I really love that, and I think that was just a really fun, nice present to get. So I think Mum bought one for herself and then thought, oh, I'll just get one for Hannah as well, because yeah, she knows I'd appreciate that. Can't remember how this was folded up. I've done it wrong. Yeah, I don't know if she's still making these or selling them or not, but I'll include a link to her shop or podcast or whatever down below. I'm messing it up now. There we go. Did it look like this before? Hopefully. Anyway, I think that is everything that I had to show you. I have no idea how long this podcast has ended up being. I'm sure I've been filming on and off for about an hour and a half. I don't know. Not quite that long. Hopefully not that long. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and especially if you've made it right to the end. I really, really appreciate that people actually want to listen to what I'm saying and see what I'm making and join in as well. So it's really, really exciting. And I have got some ideas for a knit along, possibly to start in September. So I might tell you about that now, just so if you want to join in, you can start getting yarns ready and things like that. So I was thinking of some sort of autumnal knit along, and I was speaking with my friend Kate, who is What Kate Knit on Instagram, and we were sort of toying around with different ideas for what this could be, because we both bought like self-striping sock yarn in the burrow colourway, which we feel is really autumnal. And I thought it would be a really nice idea to just have probably a sock knit along. I think it's just going to be socks, but they can be plain socks, self-striping socks, or a patterned sock, any socks. And I'm going to call it the Changing Seasons Cal, or Changing Seasons Socks Cal. The focus is going to be on the season changing if you're in the Northern Hemisphere from summer into autumn. So celebrating anything autumnal if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And because I don't want to leave anyone out in the Southern Hemisphere, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it will be moving from winter into spring. Because I believe spring is exactly when we have autumn, but pretty sure that's how it works. I don't know, obviously know the exact months that it all changes for you guys in the Southern Hemisphere, but I thought if I start in September and run it through to probably end of November, or maybe do like a 3-month knit along, and then if you want to knit more than one pair of socks, that will be absolutely fine. I'll finalise all the details and rules and stuff nearer the time, but yeah, I thought we could I'll announce it now, and then if you want to start getting things ready, that'll be absolutely fine. I'm pretty sure one of the main rules I will have is you must be able to link your sock project to autumn if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, or you must be able to link it to spring if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope you'll be as excited as I am to do that. I think I'm probably going to do self-striping socks for that, because I've got a couple of autumnal sort of colourways. Yeah, so let me know what you think and if you'd be up for that. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I look forward to speaking to you again, hopefully in a few weeks. Hopefully it won't be quite as long till the next one. But yeah, I think I've gone on rambling long enough now, so I'm going to say goodbye. Hope you have a lovely couple of weeks in knitting or crafting or crocheting, whatever it is you do, and I'll speak to you again soon.